Welcome everyone to the Incredicast podcast. I'm Adam Hurst, here with David Kerrigan, and what did we see this past weekend at Kentucky?
Welcome everyone to 2017. Man, it's been a great year so far. It's been the year of Truex, year of our Lord, 2017. Truex came back and he said, "Yeah, I am in the big three. I am the big one." Martin Truex Jr., MTJ, winning all three stages, including the win. So, yeah, it's pretty much 2017 again, wouldn't you say?
I would, which I heard Dale Jr. say on a live stream that Martin Truex's engineer was like, "I don't know if we're actually pretty good at mile and a halfs now, or if it's just a Kentucky thing." So we'll have to see at Las Vegas in the playoffs. So he won't know if he's actually good, if he's actually back until the playoffs. So that's pretty crazy. Not much to talk about, though, is it, this week?
No, we had Truex, and then we had more Truex, and then we got even more. Really just a phenomenal race for him. No issues, solid night, clean everywhere on the track, pit road. Just a dominating performance. I mean, this is how Richard Petty won 7 championships and got 200 wins. I mean, this is how it's done. So that was really what happened. We did see the 88, Mr. Showman R. Owen. He would blow a tire and bring out something that we really didn't see a whole lot at Kentucky, and that's the yellow flag. We really didn't see too much of that. But
yeah, the interesting thing about Bowman's tire exploding in smithereens is the playoff picture right now. He is on the bubble. Chase Elliott looks pretty safe right now. But Bowman, he's only 9 points above. Stenhouse is right there in 17th. We saw Stenhouse also blow a tire, but managed to keep it off the wall. So he is 9 points behind. He could take Alex Bowman's place in the playoffs, which is only 7 more races away.
Yeah, kind of scary. Got Stenhouse, Paul Menard, Newman, and even Daniel Suarez all could be possibly in position to take away that spot from Bowman.
One interesting thing from just looking at it now, in 14th we have Jimmy Johnson, 15th Chase Elliott, and 16th Bowman. So all of Hendrick's hopes and dreams of making the playoffs are on the line right now. Jimmy's only 66 points above, which is a good 2 races, so he should be safe. But let's say if he crashes out 2 races in a row in stage 1, he's done. He would basically need a win to get back in. So Hendrick Motorsports in jeopardy right now.
Yeah, and we haven't really seen that pace that others have been talking about. Is it gonna come? Oh, they just need some time. Camaro. We haven't really seen Hendrick really improving too much. Heard some noise from them earlier about possibly an engine upgrade. I haven't really seen it. Have you?
It seems to me like the only engine upgrades are going to Larson, because Larson's the only Chevy actually contending. The only Chevy that's won this year has been Austin Dillon, which that was a restrictor plate. So that win is discounted. If it wasn't for that, I mean, they would be completely winless right now.
Yeah. So, and it's weird to see this. I mean, this is the first time in our lifetimes, for sure, that we've seen Hendrick just struggling. I mean, we are 26, 27-ish races in, right? And HMS, 7-time champion Jimmy Johnson, the pride of the future, Chase Elliott, can't find a way to get to victory lane this year so far. So,
but as Hendrick is disintegrating, we have another team that is doing good finally after a few months, a season of struggling. That would be Team Penske. We had Ryan Blaney get his best finish of the season in P2. And Brad Keselowski following behind him in P3. And they beat 2 of the big 3 behind them. Kyle Busch coming in 4th and Kevin Harvick in 5th.
Yeah, and those Penske cars powered by Roush Yates. You know, we have to say that name at least once because those Fords are fast. We saw at Daytona, both Daytonas, Talladega as well. Doesn't matter if it looks like a sailboat, got no downforce on it. If it's powered by Ford with the blue oval on it, that car is fast. So Penske, the aero department, the bodies, you know, we saw a couple years ago, those were the fastest Fords there were, right? Last year even, probably. So Penske cars are improving, trying to get to that Stewart-Haas level that it currently is. So who knows? All of the Penske cars are in the playoffs. So could they possibly make some noise come this playoff time? Who knows?
Possibly. But again, just like Truex, who knows, this could have been a 1.5 mile thing, or it could have been just a Kentucky thing. So we'll have to see at Las Vegas how that actually goes for Team Penske. The playoffs right now look very far out, spread out for everyone besides Bowman and Stenhouse, basically. Because Chase is like 51 points. That's a good race ahead. Jimmy 66. Then we had Eric, Blaney, Hamlin, Larson, Kurt, and Brad, who still all don't have a win, but they're pretty safe right now.
Yeah, for sure. And the main theme here is Stewart-Haas, Penske, and Gibbs, really. You can add in the 42 and add in the 300 cars that are kind of on the bubble, but for the most part, and also Truex, of course, but for the most part, you really got those 3 teams are pulling away with our current points leader, Kyle Busch, of course, Kevin Harvick, all these guys, even Eric Jones, that Jones boy found a way to win at Daytona. Hamlin, who he hasn't really finished well, but he's had some great stage finishes. He's got playoff points. He's in there. Kurt Busch, same as well, with 2 playoff points. He's in 9th. Blaney just got 2nd. So even though we haven't really seen a whole lot of other drivers getting wins, per se, they've still been getting playoff points. They're still finding a way to get in. Meanwhile, Hendrick is currently in. However, they're on the bubble. Anything could happen. Bad race or 2. Who knows? Also, as it currently stands, no Roush cars are in the playoffs. And no really RCR cars except for Dillon. However, you know, that's not really. But Newman, which is their star driver per se, even Ty Dillon, 13, ways out, so...
Yeah, I mean, realistically, this championship's going to come down to the big 3. I mean, unless something odd happens, aliens come down and take the big 3 away, far away to a different planet, race their cars or whatever. They're probably going to be in the Final 4. There's no doubt about that, unless Martinsville, you know, we saw Clint win that one in the spring. So, oh no, it's going to be interesting to see if people can step up to them, but it doesn't look realistic right now.
Yeah, currently it does not. However, keep in mind, though, that it's the big 3, and 4 people can go to Homestead. So who do you think right now will be, or should be, per se, you know, who will have a chance to really challenge them for that title? Who will be the extra 4th driver to challenge our big 3 at Homestead, Adam?
Well, right now I'm looking for the 14, Clint Bowyer. I think it's going to be a big fight between him, the 42, possibly the 2, and maybe the 12. But right now, I would say the 14. Been consistent. He's won a couple of races so far. I think Martinsville is a good place for Clint to win. But also, it's pretty good for the 2 to win that one as well.
Yeah.
The only thing would be is actually getting to that point. You have to actually survive the playoffs. We have the Roval coming up, which who knows, we might have like a wild card. Austin Dillon could win that one, or someone like Jimmy Johnson. He was pretty decent in the testing. He might claim the Roval and move on and kick someone out who's had some bad races at Richmond and Vegas. So it's going to be really interesting to see how that plays out.
Yeah, for sure. And just keep in mind, again, as we've said, anything is possible. 2016, let's go back a couple of years. It's Homestead, Carl Edwards, and Kyle Busch are the favorites, both driving for Joe Gibbs. 22 of Logano is fast to 48. Jimmy Johnson not really doing much. And 10 to go. Caution. Carl's out. 22 gets damaged, and Jimmy Johnson wins his 7th championship. So anything is possible. Hey, our big three could crash out in the first round. Who knows? It's not likely, but
that would be crazy though. It's like the big three's out of the playoff contention, first round in the playoffs. That would be crazy, and so who knows? It would be crazy to have all three of them out in the first round, and then they like sweep the entire rest of the season. And then there hasn't been a Homestead where someone who hasn't won the championship. But it would be crazy if the winner this year did not win the race per se.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We saw last year at the 42. He was he hit the wall and was still trying to pass the two guys competing for the championship of Martin Truex and Kyle Busch. So who knows? Anything's possible. And speaking of anything's possible, going into our 21 car, we've been talking about Penske. He's a Wood Brothers car, Paul Menard. However, there's no such thing as a Wood Brothers car. As we know, Penske makes them their cars. They buy cars from Penske. How come the 21 of Paul Menard is 23 points out of the playoffs, while his other Penske teammates, per se, are doing pretty good?
Well, Paul Menard's just had some bad luck. You wrecked in that first wreck at Daytona. I think if that didn't happen, he would have been a little bit closer. But he did get that pole a few weeks ago in Chicagoland, so that was interesting to see. I think he's getting there, getting used to the new Ford cars. He's used to the RCR. I guess getting used to things would be one of the answers there, but we'll see if he can actually race his way up, beat Alex Bowman and Stenhouse.
He has the car to do it, let me say.
He does.
Has that car. So, moving onward, though, that is the way the playoffs are currently. As we said last week, we still have a lot of spots for other drivers to get in, but Truex has been tearing it up. So has Kyle Busch and Kevin Harvick. So, moving forward, we're going to the OG, the original. Get your lobster, get your coffee, park your car. We're going to Boston. We're going to New Hampshire, up northeast New Hampshire. So, short track racing? Is it really a short track? I mean, it is a short track, but
it's like
does
Martinsville
it really have the feel?
on steroids, yeah. I would say. It's big Martinsville. But it races a little bit different. I would expect the big three to still be the big three, the three kings. Throw in Clinton Boyer, maybe throw in Kurt Busch, Keselowski,
Hamlin,
maybe Chase Elliott. Who knows? We'll just have to see when practice qualifying rolls around. So he was pretty fast. But who do you think will get the win, lock themselves in the playoffs, or give them some additional playoff points?
Well, the last one that you said is pretty key with getting themselves extra playoff points. I don't see anyone new getting a win this week. Probably the same for next week and the week after that, and continuing. But I pick, keep in mind, the big three are the big three. They are Showtime. Truex just completely my goodness, swamped it at Kentucky. But I'm going to go with the 14 of Clint Bowyer. He's been fast. He's got 2 wins currently on this season. Stuart Haas. Again, if it's powered by Ford, you got a chance to win it. Stuart Haas has been there. Harvick been doing great. The 10 car, all 4 Stuart Haas cars are currently in the playoffs, at least slightly comfortably. So who knows? I'm going with Clint Bowyer to get the lobster at New Hampshire.
As for me, I'm going to go with someone who has not won a race yet. Shocking, I know. But he won it here last year, and that is Denny Hamlin. I think New Hampshire is just a place where he's comfortable, besides in Victory Lane, because that lobster, he's very afraid of the lobster. I think
he's got claws, man.
Run, Denny Hamlin, run. And he is going to get that win, lock himself into the playoffs. Not like he actually needs it, because he's sitting comfortably into the playoffs right now, but I think it's going to be Hamlin. He's going to be running away with the lobster.
Hamlin can run and lobsters can swim, as we know. So
I can just imagine him as soon as he wins. He's like, yes, wait, no.
Currently, he is, per se, locked in. He's 141 points ahead of Stenhouse Jr., who's in 17th. So it's possible. Again, anything's possible. However, he's probably getting in the playoffs, which, again, that's a big thing for Gibbs. 3 of their 4 cars have been competitive. Jones has won Daytona. Kyle Busch has been tearing it up. Hamlin as well. He's there. I wouldn't say he's ultra competitive, but he's there. What is the problem with Suarez?
You know, that's a questionable thing that's going on. It's like he's had a few years to get used to it. He's actually running worse than he was last year. So,
oh, goodness.
I have no clue what's going on. I don't know if like something within the shop giving Kyle like these beast cars and everyone else gets like these little lemon broke down cars, you know. I don't know. It's something maybe Suarez is just not adjusting as quickly as we thought he would be. You know, with that team, you can't blame it on the bodies because Kyle Busch, Martin Truex is just tearing it up, and there you are.
And you can't blame it on the engine as well, you know.
Yeah.
Jones won at Daytona, power tracks like Fontana, Michigan.
Which really brings the question, you know, will Suarez stay within Gibbs? You know,
probably, because he has a pretty big paycheck from his padre that comes every week.
That's true.
Thanks to connections in the TV world. But
we also have Christopher Bell in the Xfinity Series right now, just tearing it up. You know, he's looking to move up to Cup. You know, will we see something change at Gibbs? Possibly Denny Hamlin if he doesn't start performing with those wins, but maybe Suarez. Definitely not Jones. He's actually won a race. I don't think we'll see that happen. So who knows? We might see another car at Furniture Row. It's going to be an interesting off season, I would say.
Oh yeah, for sure. However, keep in mind though that at Daytona, Eric Jones won his first Cup race. He didn't have a sponsor on that car, sponsored by Toyota Camry. That's not a sponsor. They're already paying for you to have a team. That's not a sponsor.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of like when Roush, the 6 car or the 17, they're sponsored by Ford Performance Parts. It's like that's not a sponsor. So.
Yeah.
And hey, all I'm saying is that Carl Edwards almost won the championship. He was 10 laps away from earning his first championship and earning Gibbs their second in a row in 2 years. And they kicked him out for Suarez. So anything's possible in this league or sport.
Could possibly see it with Kyle Busch. I mean, one of the big 3 and then out you go. That's just how this motorsport is getting. It's very concerning for the future of NASCAR, which we had 5 Hour Energy actually pull out from NASCAR after the season.
Which is crazy, because how long have they been in here with Clint Boyer over at Walter Racing, remember?
Yeah.
They've been here for a good long while, and they're now with the Cup Series defending champion. You know, they're getting good performances, getting really good results, and that's not enough. You know, same with Lowe's. They've been in the sport for I don't even know how long, 90s or 80s with 31 and Mike Skinner, signing with Team Hendrick with Jimmy Johnson since 2002, and they're packing up. They're taking their ball and going home.
Yeah, 83 wins with Jimmy Johnson. It's not like he didn't perform 7 championships.
Primary sponsor on every single race since 2002. 7 championships, 83 wins. So something's not looking good.
Yeah, it's interesting. They didn't even try to phase themselves out. They're just like, we're either in or we're out, and we're out. We're gone after the season, and it's gonna be interesting to see Jimmy Johnson in a different sponsorship next year.
I love how, though, of all the places to steal a sponsor from, they stole it from the place where they need it the most. Roush Fenway Racing. They stole Advocare from them. So, pretty interesting for our top teams, Hendrick and Stuart Haas, Gibbs, Penske. However, it's really concerning, even for Gibbs. Hey, it's concerning for these teams such as Roush, even Furniture Row. You know, Roush, my goodness, how long has that been in the sport? You know, Jack Roush, I wish you all the best with your health stuff and everything. Who knows?
Well, it's going to be an interesting race at New Hampshire and an interesting race for sponsorship throughout the season.
Where's the money? Show me the money.
And by race, I mean racing sponsorships out the door. Because that's basically what's happening, and it's disheartening as a NASCAR fan, but hopefully somehow a new owner will come in and fix things up, because it's not going to happen under the owners that it is now. There's no sugarcoating that. There's no way.
No.
And
you need to drain the swamp, as a wise man says nowadays, and if you need to drain the swamp, you can't put an alligator in charge of it.
Yeah.
So, a coked up alligator, as we could say. But either way, we're going kind of short track racing, New Hampshire, really interesting track. It's a flat bed, almost flat turning. Going to New Hampshire, look out for the 14 of Clint Boyer and the 11 of Denny Hamlin. Can Hamlin get his first win, and can Boyer challenge those big three? Find out this Sunday at New Hampshire. Hope you all have a great week, and we'll see you next time.